Good morning, guys. It's Chris, the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome to episode 9 of the Great Shop Clean Out series. The big news this week, of course, and if you hadn't seen the post on my community tab or the post on my Facebook group, that the property was auctioned on Friday. The sign's right behind me. They've taken the auction sticker off it and it's now just for sale because it failed to sell at auction. I'll give you a bit of a rundown. They started the bidding at 1 million. And there was how did it work? I think there was a phone bidder that went 1.1. There was quite a crowd here. There would have been, I reckon, 50 or 60 people here. Of course, all of those people would have been local sticky beaks just to see what happened. There was a couple of other investors that I guess are curious to see what property values are going for. And then they had a vendor bid, which is, let me walk around this way. There's people getting around. I thought I'd be out filming before no one got around this morning. It's about 9 a.m. Sunday, but it's getting busy already. So the vendors are allowed to put in one bid. I think the laws, I don't know if that's worldwide, but certainly in Australia, and they bid 1.3. So the auctioneer puts that bid in, and then the phone bidder came back at 1.4, and there was no further bidding. So it was well short of what the reserve was. I don't technically know what the reserve was. I would imagine it's probably a bit north of 2. So it was well short, so it was passed in. Of course, there's a chance that the losing bidder may negotiate and he may come up a long way. The thing with auctions is that it only ever tells you what the second bidder or the losing bidder was prepared to pay. You never know how much the winning bidder or the guy that bids when it's passed in, you never know what their cap was. So it may well sell shortly. It may fail to sell and it may sit on the market at a nominated price for a long time. That remains to be seen. Obviously, from our perspective, we're kind of happy it didn't sell quickly. From the landlord's perspective, probably disappointing. I'm sure they would have loved a flurry of bids and a good sale. It's a beautiful property. Well, it's an old garage, but it's in prime spot in the main street. Our shop is part of the property. It's a large property. I think it's over 3,000 square metres, I'm not totally sure on that, with not only the old garage behind me, but there's also big sheds out the back. So it is a great property and be a good investment for someone. Just in this current world economic climate, perhaps wasn't the right time, but then, you never know, do you? So that's where we stand at the moment. I guess I'm a bit disappointed for the landlords. I'm sure they would have loved it to sell. They're great people, fantastic. And we've loved renting the building here off them. So it is what it is, and it will sell when it's supposed to. What that means for us is that we're staying in phase 1, which is we are working towards closing, but we don't have to panic. Not that we're ever going to panic anyway, but phase 1 for me involves saying no to any other deals, and not taking any e-waste or not bringing anything new into the shop, whether it be stock or even donations, and also getting rid of stuff in my store sheds, which I've been working on, and we might just get 1 or 2 boxes out of a store shed today before we finish up. Also, I really should declutter a lot at home, because whilst we've got the shop, it's a great way to get rid of it. When we don't have a shop, it's much more difficult to market low value stuff. So we're staying in that phase. We're not panicking. We're not discounting stock in the shop by a lot. We are happy to move old stock and we'll encourage that to go, but we're not going crazy. We're not having fire sale prices. We're not discounting things like our display cabinets, because if we're here for 12 months or even longer, we're going to need those. So that's where we're up at the moment, in a little bit of limbo, I guess. Sometimes it's nicer to have a date to work to, because then you can have a really specific strategy that works towards it. When you're in limbo, well, we've just got to coast a bit, but we're going to keep going with our phase 1 duties of saying no to people. And although there may be an exception to that, I will talk to you another video about that one, but also getting rid of stuff out of our store sheds and moving low value stock. Let's have a quick walk around. It's looking like a beautiful day today. There's a bit of traffic getting around, as I said, but as I started filming, there was a few groups walk past, and there is a bus tour group over there having their morning coffee. It's quite brisk. It was down to about 3 degrees Celsius this morning. That's why I've got my jacket on, but it's going to be a nice day. All right, I'm due to mark these bikes down even more. Haven't sold any more of them, so I'm going to discount them, probably take another $20 off. So that one's 80, we'll make that 60. I'll do that today. we've got rid of quite a lot of these paintings. There's not all that many left, so my discount strategy on those has worked really well. They're all down to $20 each. And we've been moving a lot of books out from the shop. So we're clearing off, you know, there's hardly any of my electrical stuff left. And we're adding a lot of these books from out of the shop at mostly $5 each. And they're selling quite well. So that's freeing up a lot of space in the shop for new stock. These are some of the folders that I got out of the storage shed from the farm in the last episode. I went $1 each on them. Haven't sold any, so if I don't sell any today, I'm going to make them free. We just got to move them on. I've still got a few of my old trophies left, but they have been selling at $5 each. And the charges here, I think I'm up to about 15 gone. So that's working quite well. As I find more, I keep adding them to that little trolley. So I'm pretty happy with that, getting $1 per charger rather than just for the wire. Everything else out the front's pretty well as normal, although as I said, there's a lot more books. So these have all come from the back shelves in the shops where Christine's been putting her handmade stuff. And a lot of these are very old stock. So they've been moving now that they're out the front. Some suitcases, not a lot of those left. They've been selling quite well. A little bit more artwork here. I've priced down to $3 each or 2 for $5, and that's been selling. Some more books. And then we do add to the book exchange regularly, which is essentially free, and we leave a small pile of stuff out here for free that is just not worth putting a price on, and it clutters up the shop, so move that on. And the rest of the stuff out here is all Christine's fabric and handmade stuff. It makes a great display out the front, and the weather's pretty stable at the moment, so it's nice having stock out the front. It's always a hassle if it's windy or if it's raining. All right, I think there's someone in the shop. We'll duck in there in a minute. Okay, I've bypassed the shop. There's people out there this morning. It's got busier than it normally does on a Sunday morning. I thought we'd come in here and just do a few more boxes to finish up this video, get some more of this stuff from the farm out into the shop. Busy day. I know there's more books. We might as well get them out the front and hopefully move some. So let's have a look. Okay, we did mention this planer, and that's what it is the other day. I don't know if it's been used. I assume it has. Although it looks, yeah, it has been used. It's dusty, but it doesn't look like it's had much use. It's an XU1, which if that was a Holden Tirana, it would be worth a lot of money, being a 70s sports car. But this is a made in China electric plane. So look, it's probably only going to have $20 in the shop. I will test it to make sure it's safe. But the 60 price sticker, I think someone was quite ambitious. I hope Dad didn't pay that. Right, here we have a butter churn complete with spider webs and dust. So this has come from the farm, and it's missing its handle. They've got a handle to go in this side, which turns the baffles in here. And I've never actually churned butter in one of these, but I would imagine you would have to crank them for a long time. And beautiful old timber. It's in good condition. Sometimes these end up in sheds and get all rotten and all borer, insect damage or something like that. This one's in pretty good condition. Looks like it's a bit stained. Might have been wet, but not too bad. It's a shame we don't have the handle, but I think you can probably pick them up. Often they're missing this part, actually. So I'll give this a bit of a brush off, and I don't know what we'll put on that. Maybe $50. I'll check out the price of them. But I think $50 would pull it up. Wouldn't make a lot of difference if it had a handle. We might get another 30 or something. I don't think I've got a spare handle. Okay, milk crate full of books to sell. And it's probably going to be a real mixed bag. So basically an atlas, Geographica. So unless they're anything special, they're going to be between the $5 and $10 mark. Probably some might even go on the book exchange. These coffee table type books are really difficult to sell. It's had a little bit of insect damage too. And they did a lot of them around the 70s and 80s. They probably still do, but they turn up. We get a lot of these in the shop. I might put that on the book exchange. So we're probably going to find that we won't get a lot of value out of this. Well, we've got magazines here. How to Live with a House. Home Decorators Course. Don't know what date. Women's Weekly lift out. It's probably 1960s. And we've just got lots of random magazines and things here. Instructions on building, little notes, external wall cladding. Some of these will just go in the recycle bin. And some magazines, Wellbeing, 1991. Some tourist brochures from the Grampians, big mountain range in Victoria. I think there's a mountain range in Scotland called the Grampians. That's probably what they were named after. Fossicking guide, tourist info for Adelaide, some maps. Yeah, there'll be a fair bit of this stuff just be in the recycle bin, so it should be easy enough to sort out. A CFA Fire Brigade region, that's for the region over in Matawa, of just a lot of maps. Good reference, those things though. Omega Science Digest, we had some of these the other day, so that will go with the other ones. 1990s Science Magazine. Real mixed bag here. More tourist stuff. Great Ocean Road. And it looks like we have some books. Instant Calm. Every Woman's Guide to Natural Health. Emotional Health. So I don't think there's anything exceptionally good in here. Sometimes you can get some nice old recipe books. They sell okay. A lot of gardening stuff. Organic gardening. Alright, I'll sort this out. If there's anything fantastic, I'll show you, but I don't expect there will be. This other crate, I don't know. It just says to sell. What have we got? Maybe kitchen stuff. There's a casserole pot. So that looks quite okay. Made in Japan stoneware. Still, we might get $10 for that. But in here, it looks like we have some old binoculars. Yes, I remember these ones from the farm. They were well used. Trying to see where the cows were down the back of the paddock, or who was driving along the highway a couple of kilometres away. And I think we just have more books. Books on gardening, agriculture, and yeah, the rest of this is just books. Bush medicine, some of these will sell okay. Botanica, that looks like a good reference book. A to Z of over 10,000 garden plants and how to cultivate them. Yeah, that's a great book, that one. We should get something for that. I will check eBay on some of the books, but most of them will just be cheap in the shop or on the book exchange, and the magazines and stuff probably in the recycle bin. And a reusable bag here, so we can use that to give it away in the shop. We use all the bags we find to put customer stuff in. Life Without Limits Amputee Expo. Well, Dad was an amputee. He only had one leg from a farm accident, so that must have come from some expo they went to. Okay, and that will clear the walkway. Fantastic, we've achieved something. Okay guys, let's finish up with a long distance shot of all this space we've created. We've got rid of these last few boxes. The walkway is now wide enough that we can actually get some stuff out of that room. I feel like I'm guiding an aeroplane in. Next step, I think we'll keep going on this section because I'd like to get rid of the last of the farm stuff, which is not all of those boxes, just some. And then we might as well keep going here unless something in the other room grabs my attention. I'm pleased we're making some good space and we're all pushing it all through the shop to get rid of it. That's the aim. That's phase one, remember. Get rid of the low value clutter in our storerooms and don't take any more stock. Got to try and stick to that. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.